Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another YouTube video episode, what you want to call it, of We Go podcast on YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what to say because when I open my podcast episodes, I say, hey, everybody, thank you so much for downloading another episode. So still trying to work that out for it to sound like, natural. Y'all know what else I'm still trying to work out? Okay, so still learning the whole YouTube game, right? So in my last video that I uploaded today, clearly I was not looking into the camera. Let me tell y'all why. So I had some articles pulled up that I wanted to read to y'all. And then I also had my Zoom pulled up because for right now, I'm doing the videos through Zoom the same way I record the podcast. So instead of looking at my little camera on my computer, I was looking at myself on the Zoom, feeling like I could see myself and see my eyes. I'm looking at me. So when they look at me, I'll be looking at them. Now I need to look into the camera. So that's why I was probably looking everywhere but in the camera. So I'm working on that too. So y'all, thank you for bearing with me. But I'm excited about this YouTube because I get to talk about things in pretty much real time, if you will. But I could do that with my podcast, but then I would have like 15 mini podcast episodes a week. You know what I mean? But with YouTube, I can come on here and talk about all the things that I actually want to talk about on my podcast too. It's supposed to be about pop culture and reality TV. That's not necessarily just Housewives for me. I watch a whole lot of stuff and read a whole lot of stuff. And I see a whole lot of stuff, on the internet or what have you that I want to talk about, but I don't just hop on and do a podcast episode. So I'm loving being able to do this with YouTube. I'm like, yes, because instead I'll talk about it to Corey or him and I will have a dialogue about it, but I want to talk to y'all about it too. So first things first, it's going to be a quick video. Let's talk about Miss Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj said she regrets her plastic surgery. I was fine just the way I was. And I will say Nicki was and is a beautiful woman. But, we all have things about ourselves that we feel a way about. I just talked about getting Botox, I think on the last video, and shout out to one of my subscribers. They said, don't get Botox. And I said, thank you, because sometimes I look in the mirror. And y'all remember that episode of Roni when they went wild at the Berkshires and Luann woke up and was like, water. Child, I wake up sometimes, look in the mirror and be like, more moisturizer, in that same voice. But anyway, back to Nicki, y'all. So Nicki Minaj joined the Run Through with Vogue podcast to discuss her new cover for the magazine, along with motherhood and why she regrets getting plastic surgery. I guarantee you, if you change anything on your body and do anything surgical and all of this, you're going to more than likely, not definitely, but more than likely look back one day and say, I was fine just the way I was. She told this to the podcast host, Chioma Nadi. I hope I'm saying that right. And that's what happened to me. I could not believe even some of the photos that I didn't love. Nicki opened up about her reason for going under the knife in the first place, saying, I didn't like being skinny, having a flat butt, having boobs that didn't sit high enough. It was a lot of things. She added that she used to shy away from looking at old photos of herself as she was never satisfied with her appearance. Now she shared, I love the way that person looked physically. She believes her 3-year-old son, whom she shares with her husband, Kenneth Petty, and affectionately calls him Papa Bear, he helped change her tune. I think pregnancy could have played a role because seeing my son did remind me of myself so much, my real self. And it made me think, why didn't I like this? So weird. But seeing old photos, being able to look at old photos again, made me realize these old photos are beautiful. Nicki recently underwent breast reduction surgery, a decision she discussed in her December 2023 Vogue cover story. I love it. I used to want a bigger butt, and now I look back and realize how silly that was. Love your curves and love your non-curves. There's nothing wrong with any of it. I agree, and I love this journey for her. There's nothing like looking in the mirror and truly loving where you are at with yourself. And not even, sometimes I get, like in her case, it's societal standards, pressures of society. Even me, I'm not even nowhere near clearly where Nicki is, but I do put myself out there on the internet, on Zoom. And you're like, I was just like thinking right before I did this, I should have brushed these little hairs that's sticking all up, curling all up over, because thank goodness, after health challenges years ago and a whole bunch of other stuff, hair is growing back in. But I'm like, oh, I should have brushed it down and tied my scarf on tighter before I did the video. So I'm saying that to say we all critique ourselves, but there's nothing like looking in the mirror and truly loving who you are and where you are. Even if there's things where you're like, I may want to tighten that up, may want to do this, but life is not going to fall apart if you don't do it. So I'm loving this journey that she's on in loving herself. I wish that for all women, men too, and non-binary too. It's like I said, it's good to be in a place where you really like yourself. For me, my goal is to love myself in clothes and out of clothes, because look, some people just want to look a certain way in clothes. Child, I don't want to run past the mirror. I want to glide past the mirror naked and be like, do it. So, it's a journey for all of us. So again, I'm glad that Nicki is on this journey of loving herself, and telling other people, whether you're curvy, non-curvy, big booty hoe, or a booty that is not as big, just love yourself for who you are. Y'all, let's get into Selling Sunset. I am so excited that the new season dropped. I like Selling Sunset, and I'm going to say this. I was irritated that they didn't bring back Selling Tampa. I know a lot of people had a lot to say about it, but I feel like they should have been given a chance, just like the original Selling Sunset should have been given another season. I was really started feeling the girls and truly realizing, oh, they're a brokerage firm and this one does this and this one does that. I really wish that they would have brought that back, but I'm excited to go binge Selling Sunset. And I'm really thinking about recapping it here. I don't know if I want to do 2 episodes at a time. Do I do 1 episode at a time? But I've really, again, something that I've wanted to talk about last season. So let's get into Brie. Now, I don't know how to say her last name. Is it Brie Tiesi? It is one of Nick Cannon's child's mothers, one of Nick Cannon's baby mamas. So I'm Decider online, Decider, the magazine website, what have you, has an article. Selling Sunset star Brie, I'm just going to call her Brie because I don't know how to say the last name. Brie is chalking up her recent scandalous confession to girl talk, in quotes. Brie shocked her co-stars during the new season of Selling Sunset when she admitted to sleeping with Creed 3 star Michael B. Jordan. Brie claimed in a recent interview that she did not know the cameras were rolling when she made the shocking revelation. We were all having girl talk and we were sitting and resetting the cameras, she told Entertainment Tonight. She added that she thought the conversation was being held off camera. Lesson. Just like Dr. Wendy said at BravoCon on the Real Housewives of Potomac panel and talked about her hot mic moment. Anytime a mic is around, or when you have the mic on and it's off, it's still on. It can be on you and off. Even if the mic is off of you in your vicinity, it's on. So anytime a mic is around, operate as though it's on. So again, she said she thought the conversation was being held off camera. I know better, and that's my own fault. I know better. I've definitely learned a lot these last few seasons, but that was in no way me trying to be like, oh, I did X, Y, and Z. She later asked fans to cut her some slack for the mix-up. The shocking revelation came during the Selling Sunset Season 7 premiere, which showed Brie, Amanda Smith, and Chrishell Stause and Emma sitting down for lunch together. Their girl talk took a scandalous turn when Chrishell asked the group, who would you sleep with celebrity-wise? Amanda was the first to choose, deciding on Michael B. Jordan. I could do that, and I've done that. She said, I could do that, and I've done that. That's what Brie said. Her co-star started screaming in excitement and shock. Oh my God, Hernan remarked, I want to live through that vagina right now. Brie continued her scandalous confession, telling the table, I've slept with all my favorites. The reality star was previously married to former NFL quarterback Johnny Manziel until 2021. She currently shares a son with Nick Cannon. Chrishell later asked Brie about her relationship with Nick and asked if she would be open to dating again if she met the right person. Brie replied, I love Nick. I'm happy with my relationship, however that is. And like, if I date, I date. She later said she would never disrespect Nick and even his situations and stuff. Like, I've always been nothing but respectful of that. So I know people don't get it, and I don't care that people don't get it. You know what? She likes it. I don't have to love it because she likes it. It's her life. So it's interesting that she calls what they have a relationship, because she said, I'm happy with my relationship, however that is. And like, if I date, I date. So she's happy with Nick and where she is with him. I wonder, because of course, I'm sure it'll pick up steam. I wonder what Michael B. Jordan has to say about her slip of the tongue in front of cameras that she thought were off. They were just resetting up the cameras. I don't know what y'all think. Are y'all watching Selling Sunset? If y'all are, let me know if you're interested in a recap. And also, do y'all think that it was a slip of the tongue? Even if you're not watching Selling Sunset, do y'all think, from what I just read to you, that it was a slip of the tongue? Or do you think she knew what she was doing? Because for me, and you know what, they could have forged real relationships, real bonds. I don't know. But she was on last season. So let's say she knew these girls for a good 2 years, right? I don't know if I will be name dropping names, thinking that it wouldn't get back or wouldn't make the press. I don't know. So let me know what y'all think. But go ahead, Brie. Do you, baby. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Miami. Now, I told y'all at BravoCon that panel was spicy. When I look at the Real Housewives of Miami, I get the impression that Alexia is like, I'm an OG. So I'm like old guard. I'm guarding. This is my show. I feel like Larsa thinks that same way. But see, I don't even consider, even though I know she did season 1, I don't consider Larsa an OG because I don't know who that person is in season 1 compared to who we looking at now. They are two totally different people, number one. Number two, you left after season 1. So you don't get to me, to be like, oh, I'm the OG, respect is due to me. Again, you're a totally different person. Who are you? But inside Real Housewives of Miami stars Alexia Napola and Adriana Demora's heated fight at Miami airport. And this is according again to page 6. Alexia Napola and Adriana Demora got into a verbal dispute at Miami International Airport earlier this week, right after BravoCon 2023. Page 6 can confirm. I'm going to go ahead and say before I read the article, they were tired. All the activities, I was tired and I didn't have to do half of what they did. So we're going to chalk it up to maybe jet lag, right? Not really. The Real Housewives of Miami stars were seen arguing Monday near airport's baggage claim, fresh off their flight from Las Vegas, where the fan convention was held. We're told Alexia confronted Adriana over comments the Faya singer made about the reality star's marriage and financial status on the first 2 episodes of their hit Bravo show. A source tells page 6 exclusively that Alexia and Frankie's beauty bar owner watched the episodes on the plane. Okay, so it makes sense why they're arguing then and not before. She watched the episodes on the plane and they set her off because she believed her co-star had been spreading lies about her family. Adriana's pattern has always been to attack one of the ladies, the insider says. She's attacked Larsa, Marisol, and now she continues to attack Alexia. The co-star's issues stem from season 5 of The Real Housewives of Miami. Alexia slammed Adriana at the time for saying that accidents have consequences, like her son Frankie Rosella's near-fatal car accident in 2011 that left him with brain injuries. Now, I do remember that, and I remember being like, Adriana, girl, out of pocket, out of line, absolutely not. Alexia, I keep these A's, y'all, these A's. Adriana has since apologized and told page 6 in February, I regret using the analogy. The women appeared to be attempting to get their friendship back on track in the first episodes of season 6, but were told untrue remarks that Adriana made about Alexia and her husband not being able to afford their lavish Magic City apartment or having marital issues has reignited the feud. I didn't know. Wait. Are they being funny when they call Alexia and Todd's apartment Magic City? Or is that really what it's called? Every time I hear Magic City, I immediately think of Atlanta. I don't know why. Or like a strip club. That's what I think of. But anyway, so Alexia and Adriana's friendship was set to be back on track. But now they're saying that Adriana is talking about Alexis and Todd's marriage. A separate source claimed to TMZ Saturday that Alexia called herself a star and said Adriana was the weakest on the show. We're told Alexia did make the star claim, which she said that last season when they were on that van. So that's not a surprise. But the Feel the Rush singer has allegedly been trying to pull the victim card and is the real bully. An eyewitness says Alexia was sitting next to Real Housewives of Miami star let me start over. An eyewitness says Alexia was sitting next to Real Housewife of Miami co-star Julia Limagova on the plane, which allegedly made Adriana, these A's, y'all, which allegedly made Adriana jealous because she was friends with Julia first. Adriana is very jealous of Alexia's new friendship and relationship with Julia, the source claims, adding that this was evident because Adriana allegedly kept coming up to Julia on the plane. I hate to say I see it. I'm going to be honest with you. I never really saw it for Alexia nor Adriana. However, I will say it would be annoying if I was Alexia, knowing that Adriana was jealous and now you keep coming up here. But I can see it happening. Like in my mind, thinking about Adriana on the show, I can see her doing that to establish her territory. Like, Julia is my friend, boo. I don't care that you're sitting next to her. She's mine. So I can see it happening. Let's see. We're told that Alexia addressed the issues with Adriana and the Brazilian reality star. I'm saying Brazilian because that's what page 6 is saying, okay? And the Brazilian reality star blamed production for the claim she made about the Cuban Barbie. This is in quotes on their reality show. Page 6 is, these writers are shady. Again, I'm reading what page 6 wrote, not what I said. However, a source tells page 6 exclusively, production does not make anybody do anything. It's a lie that producers ask the cast to stir the pot. That's not true. I'm going to say this. If we're going to play semantics, I can see them saying it's a lie that production asks anyone to stir the pot. So production may not be walking up to a cast member saying, can you go stir the pot? Production could, however, walk up to a castmate and say, don't you want to address what's being said about you in the press? So if we're going to play semantics, I think that's what's happening, because I do think production does play a little bit of a role, maybe even a big role in some of this drama that we see, right? So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that it's going to end well for Alexia and Adriana? Like maybe they will mend? Because it looks like the insider suggests that Adriana is desperate for a storyline to get upgraded to full-time housewife since she is just in a friend of role. They're also told that Alexia and Adriana's disagreement did not turn physical at any point, but co-star Kiki Barth was seen attempting to mediate the situation. A source alleges to us that Adriana told Alexia, bye, a-hole, after their confrontation. Y'all, why could I see that too? I can see it. I don't know. So y'all let me know. Do y'all think that they will ever truly mend? I do see how Adriana plays the victim and a lot of things that I do think she wants to be holding. What are they holding? Are they holding a mojito in the opening credits? I do feel like she wants to be full-time. I also do feel like Alexia is very different now than she was during the earlier seasons, the first set of seasons on The Real Housewives of Miami. I do feel like she believes that she is the star. It's okay to believe you're a star. I'm a star. Yes, I'm a star. Believe that. I think that she believes she's the star of the show. And I think that's where the conflict comes in, especially with Adriana. So we'll see. I am excited because I'm just a tad bit behind. I have a lot of catching up to do. I'm just a tad bit behind, but I'm going to catch up on Miami this weekend. One more story that I wanted to talk about with y'all was Tamra, Melissa, and Teresa. So page 6 says, Tamra judge seemingly shades Teresa Giudice by posing with Melissa Gorga. So let's go on down. By now, I'm sure y'all have seen the pictures. And it says, shade has been thrown. I want to say something. I want people to use the word shade appropriately. I'm not saying page 6 isn't using it appropriately, but I want people to understand what shade is. Shade is when the person, you walk away, you said something and you walk away from the person. They're like, did she just, wait a minute. If a person straight up says, you're this, you're that, I don't like you, I don't mess with you, go touch grass, that's not shade. Shade is very subtle and you got to catch it. So please, I need y'all to understand what the word shade means, but let's move on. Page 6 says shade has been thrown. Tamra Judge seemingly called out Teresa Giudice on Twitter Friday by sharing 4 photos of herself posing with Melissa Gorga, the Real Housewives of New Jersey star's estranged sister-in-law. The pair looked stunning, with Melissa rocking a semi-sheer black maxi gown and Tamra looking chic in a black crop blazer and pantsuit. They did look good. The caption said, keep talking, with the talking emoji. And then she hashtagged it RHOC, hashtag RHONJ. Fans believe the post responded to Teresa clapping back at Tamra for her BravoCon comments about her husband. The Real Housewives of Orange County star labeled Teresa's husband, Louis, as the worst house husband in response to a fan's prompt at a panel event. I'm going to say this. Fans was going rogue because, from what I understand, I was at one of the panels and I know I know a couple people that asked the question, but one of the people said they ask you, what's your question? And she was going to ask a question about like Ramona and all of that stuff. And they told her basically, you can't ask that. You can't mention Ramona, and about the article stuff, the article that came out. But other fans did ask those questions. So people were telling the producers by the because there was a stage, and at the first Ask Andy panel on Friday, both sides of the stage had people go up. But then I noticed at some of the other panels, they only had one side asking questions. So they would ask you, what question are you going to ask? And they would tell you whether or not you could ask that question. But some people just went rogue. So I believe these panels, people were literally going rogue and just saying and doing whatever. Now, on Wednesday's episode of her podcast, Namaste Bitches, Teresa called out miserable Tamra for her comments. She's been talking about my husband. Someone said to me that she said my husband is the worst husband on Housewives. Excuse me? Are they going to be fisticuffs? Anyway, she said, doesn't her husband live off her? Isn't she the sugar mama for him? And I think maybe she's getting tired. Hold on. And I think maybe he's getting tired of her. And maybe that's why she's like acting up, because she's older than him, right? She's a sugar mama. She bought the gym so he could run it because he was a trainer. No, this is what I've heard. She doesn't even know me. She doesn't know my husband. And it's like, stay in your lane, girl. That's it. That's all I have to say to her. Stay in your own lane. Page 6 did listen to Namaste Bitches episode, but was unable to confirm the quotes. Teresa's manager did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Interestingly enough, at another point in the podcast, Teresa said she doesn't ever want to talk SHIT about her fellow Bravo celebrities because she feels like they're all one big Bravo family. That's interesting. Are they going to squash the beef next year at BravoCon 2024? Who knows? But I just thought that was really interesting how Teresa surmised all that. And you know that Tamra is probably going to hit back once she hears all those claims. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about the topics that we discussed. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.